All right, so for our final fight on the main card, the main event this coming weekend, we have Magic Marlon Moraes taking on Cory Sandhagen. This should be a good fight. I think this is obviously the one I'm most excited for on this card. Marlon Moraes, a guy who is a savage, 23-6-1. He's 5-1 in his last 6. That loss, Triple C, so it's pretty understandable. Lightning fast. He's got deadly power in both his punches and his kicks. He is a BJJ black belt, and I mean, we've been talking about it this whole podcast. He's got the experience. He's got twice as many fights as Cory Sandhagen, and he's been fighting better guys. So for most of those reasons, I'm going with Moraes. I think that Cory Sandhagen, was on a tear until that loss with against Aljo. And I just think after seeing how badly he got dominated by Aljo, I'm very hesitant to pick him against a top-ranked guy like Marlon. I mean, he's a very good fighter. He's got great composure, and he seems to have very good fight IQ. He's tall, he's large for the division, and he usually uses that size pretty well. And he's got a lot of potential. I think after that loss, he's going to be working to fill the holes in his game. But I just don't think he's on that level of Marlon Moraes yet. So I'm going with Moraes. I think it's going to be a decision win. Yeah. Who you got here and why?
Yeah, I mean, this is a 5-round fight, so the only reason I take pause and think that Cory Sandhagen is has a chance in this fight is if he's able to get it to that 4th and 5th round, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and Marlon does what he's been doing lately and starts to run out of gas. But I just think, again, what I've been saying this whole fight card, experience.
Yep.
The amount of professional fights that Marlon has had against the types of opponents that he's had, I think it's just the key difference in this fight. I think Cory Sandhagen is a very talented fighter.
Yeah.
Has all the skills in the world.
Still very young. 28.
I think what happened in that Sterling fight was kind of, I don't want to say fluke, because you have to give Aljamain Sterling all the credit for going out there and taking that very important win and setting himself up for what should be a shot at that belt. But Sandhagen, I just don't think he's faced the level of competition. You know, his biggest wins are Rafael Assunção and John Lineker. But I mean, Marlon Moraes, like you said, he's been in there with Triple C. He's beat Jose Aldo. He's also beat Rafael Assunção, Jimmy Rivera. He beat Aljamain Sterling, who just beat Sandhagen. And I know that MMA math doesn't always work out that way, but I just don't see the way that Cory Sandhagen beats Marlon Moraes.
Yeah, I agreed.
And it surprised me that he was the favorite.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I just think the body of work and what we've seen recently from Marlon Moraes would make him the favorite. It didn't make much sense to me. Maybe I'll throw a few bucks on that.
Yeah.
But I just think in this fight he's going to come out the aggressor. I think even if he does sprint for 2 rounds, I think he has the skills to be able to finish
Sandhagen
Cory Sandhagen. I think he's a better striker. He's definitely better if it hits the ground. I just think that the ways for Cory Sandhagen to win are much more limited than they are for Marlon Moraes. I think with his experience and his he's so close to the belt. He beats Cory Sandhagen and he gets to fight the winner of Aljo and your driver Piotr Jan.
Oh, Jan.
So I just think that in this fight it makes a lot of sense to me that Marlon's going to be able to come out, get in the range, his striking range, be able to land big shots and really pressure Cory Sandhagen in a way that I don't think he's been pressured yet in the UFC. And if it does get into a war, I think Marlon Moraes has been in there, like I said, with top level guys, and he's felt the pressure and the power and the technique and the wrestling of all these top level guys. Like he's been in there with Aljo, who's a phenomenal wrestler, perhaps the best wrestler there at 135 pounds.
Knocked him out.
And he knocked him out.
Yeah.
You know, he's been in there with one of the greatest in Jose Aldo. He's been in there with Triple C and 10-8 round him in the first round.
Yeah,
of course,
early
he lost
good.
that. But I mean, he was looking spectacular. What he did to Jimmy Rivera in that head kick knockout. I just think that he has more ways to get the job done. And when when there's a close fight, and I feel like one fighter has more tools to get the win, I feel like that's the fight I'm going to go for. And I think that Marlon Moraes gets a 2nd round TKO over Cory Sandhagen. I just don't think Cory Sandhagen's been in there with the people that Marlon has, and I don't think he's ever faced the pressure that Marlon's going to bring in this one. I really think that he's going to be able to go in there and get Cory Sandhagen out.
Yeah, Yeah, I agreed. We're in agreement on that one. You said knockout as well. How late
round.
you think? Second round?
Second round.
Yeah, I'll probably say early. Well, no, actually, I think decision. I'm gonna stick with my original. Yeah, I think that Sandhagen is tough enough to last the full 5 rounds, but I think it'd be dominant.
Yeah, I really think
Marlon
Moraes is going to put the heat on him.
Yeah, agreed. Well, that does it for the Tell Me Why part of the show. We'll go ahead and move on to Whiskey Thoughts. This is the part of the show where we each take a